Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the Air Max 270 with the Air Max 2090. So the retail price for both of these shoes is 150 bucks, so the exact same price. I'm going to be going over the key differences in the shoe. If you guys want to cop either of them, I'll leave a link in the description box, but let's get it started off with the traction. They're using very similar traction patterns, just squares with like little nubs in the middle. And they both seem pretty durable, like the rubber is very hard, but then the Air Max 2090 is a lot thicker. The grooves are a lot deeper, and because of that, I feel like the 2090 will last you a little bit longer. Like especially in the forefoot, if you look at the forefoot, the Air Max 270 is a lot thinner than the 2090s. But other than that, they're both casual shoes, so performance on traction doesn't really matter. Durability is probably the most important. The cushioning is something that's very different. It looks very similar, but it doesn't feel similar at all. The forefoot is very similar though. Both of these shoes are using very soft foams. They don't specify what they're using, but it's really soft in both of them. I would say the 2090 is actually softer and a little bit springier, but also a little bit thicker as well. Like when you're wearing them, the 2090 feels a little bit higher up off the ground, which is insane because the 270s are already really high up. So the foam, they're both super nice, but the 2090 is a little bit better in my opinion. And then moving on to the air bubble. So the 270, so as you guys know, the LeBron 17 is also using like a 270 unit. But then the PSI in the LeBron 17 is very high, so you can't really feel it as much. But in the 270, PSI is a lot lower, and if you look at the footage, this cushion literally almost touches the floor. That's how much this thing compresses. It's insane. It protrudes out a lot as well. So if you want like crazy compression, you want to really feel that air bubble, then 270 is a great option. The 2090 is a different Air Max setup. So as you guys can see, the 270, it doesn't have arches, which really doesn't matter because the arches in the 2090, this doesn't compress either here in the middle at all, so it's more just like an aesthetic thing. But then the 270 unit goes all the way here into the heel, like in the back of the heel. The 2090, it literally just goes through like right here. The air bubble is right here, and then there's a pillar or these arches, and then here in the back of the heel is foam and this ribbed caging. So this 2090 Air Max unit really never compress. Like even if you really want to compress like this, you can't because the foam is right here, right? The foam and the caging. So you never really feel the air bubble. It's more just like an aesthetic thing, which I guess is cool because I really like how Air Max looks. But as a cushioning setup, you never feel it. The foam here in the heel though does compress, and it's very soft because this foam is super thick in the heel. Even though this caging is still there, it's still pretty damn comfortable. But if you really want to feel the cushion, go with the 270. But I do know some people that don't like the 270, like for me personally, because it's a little too much sometimes. So if you don't like that, or if you've tried this and you're like, that's a little too much, then the 2090 is a lot mellower, especially in the heel. As far as the materials go, the Air Max 270 uses a mesh material, and then here in the toe cap you have some fuse for extra added durability, and same thing with the 2090, you have some fuse here in the toe cap as well. As far as the thickness goes, they're both very thin. They're both one booty uppers. Even though the 2090 doesn't look like a one booty upper, it basically is because the tongue is attached to this material that goes underneath this upper. So yeah, I'd say they're very similar, especially on foot. They're both very soft and thin and minimal. Both of them are very easy to put on. I would say the 2090 is slightly easier because the tongue opens up a little bit more, like as you guys can see, and then the 2070, not as much, but they're both super easy to put on and take off. You got some heel tabs, and then here in the back, they both say Air, but then the 2090 has this ribbed plastic thing here in the heel with a Nike swoosh underneath the Air logo. But aesthetically, I feel like I like the 2090 a lot better. I feel like it looks a lot cleaner. This mesh material doesn't look as premium to me for some reason. And then as far as the swoosh goes, the 270 has a very small swoosh here on the lateral and medial side. 2090 has a very large swoosh that's just printed on this translucent material and no swoosh on the medial side. And of course, you guys can see the synthetic leather piece here on the lateral and medial side. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the 2090 material looks better, but they both feel very similar on foot. And then in the ankle area, there's quite a bit more padding in the 2090. Both of the shoes throughout the entire upper, in the forefoot and in the midfoot, is super thin. There's absolutely no padding, even in the tongue. but then in the ankle area, right here on the upper part of the heel, there is a good amount of padding, and that feels very nice on the Achilles. The 270s, I mean, there's still a little bit of padding, but not as much as the 2090. So that also makes the 2090 feel a little bit better. As far as the fit goes, they fit exactly the same for me. So I went true to size for both of the shoes, and lengthwise I'm good. Widthwise, they're both pretty damn narrow, and toe space is pretty snug. So if you don't like to have a snug fit, or you have a wide foot or something like that, I would suggest going up half a size or maybe even a full size. But keep in mind, this mesh material and also this 2090 material does stretch out. So if at first the fit is a little too snug for you, you should be fine. Just give it a little bit of time and it'll stretch out a little bit. Alright, moving on to the weight. The Air Max 270 is 9.49 ounces, and this is like 12 ounces on the dot. Yeah, 12.03 ounces. So the 270 is a lot lighter, and that's probably because of this plastic caging. That's probably adding all the weight. And then with ventilation, they're both very good. They allow for a lot of airflow through the upper, so your foot's gonna be very cool in both of the shoes. As far as the durability goes, I feel like the 290s are going to be a little bit more durable, and I feel like they're going to last a little bit longer for you guys. As far as the aesthetics go, I'd say I like the 2090 a lot better. Like, I like the materials. They look a lot cleaner to me. I don't like the mesh material look here in the 270s. And I also don't really like the small swoosh. But that's just my opinion. Tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, which shoe is more comfortable? I would say the 270 is a little bit more comfortable. Like, if you want to feel that Air Max in the heel, then the 270 is more comfortable, I would say. But aesthetically, I like the 2090s better. So in conclusion, if you want to feel the Air Max, go with the 270s. If you want the better looking shoe, then go with the 2090s. But that's just my opinion. Again, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave links below for both of the shoes. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.